Good morning and welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the talk think show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so-called American Negro didn't come to America locked in the trunk of a ship. I'm your host, the indigenous one. Since the last time we spoke, a lot of stuff has changed. It's the same thing we've gotten over the past 60 years. We have seen the same thing play out over and over again. And we should know by now what we should be doing and to leave these games alone. Today, I have three young ladies to talk to you about what all this news media, what's all this stuff, what is it doing to us? What is it is making us think a certain way? Is it making us do a certain thing? What is all this shit? What's happening? And we gonna get in and unlock what that does. Anything that comes across the TV, we jump to it. Really? And we haven't learned yet. And see, this is what they keep showing the same shit over and over and over again. You just saw this shit in the Rodney King thing. Same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and shut up now and hand it off to these three sisters. Listen to what these sisters said. Deborah, she
I'm
changed her
here.
name up on me, so I'm going to let her get it. But I'm going to go ahead and do my work. Deborah,
I'm here.
introduce you and your compadres.
Okay. I'm known as Deborah White, but I am in the process of changing my name to my an Aboriginal name because I'm counselor. So it's Deborah Ishka Oklahoma. And we also have Danielle Naniwaya.
Lito.
And we have I am Okima Love. She's my biological daughter. She's smart. Both of these young ladies know a lot. So I'm glad that they're here with me today. So are we going from here, Carrie? Are you still with us or are we going
Yeah,
forward?
I'm still with you, but take it.
Okay, well, this is what we're gonna talk about, people. We're gonna talk about rituals. Because what's been going on and what we've been finding here is that our people are entering into and have been entering into the rituals of the cabal, or what is called the shadow government. And they can't really, what we don't know is that they can't really perform these rituals without our participation. And Danielle and Okima, and we talk about these things all the time when we do rituals ourselves. So we want to explain some things about rituals. I think Danielle, Danielle's going to bring to you, we are the star people. So you'll understand your position. And my daughter, Okima Love, I am Okima, is going to speak on the facts of why we should not eat meat. So I'm going to start with this first to give you a little bit of understanding of what a ritual is. It's a participating in something that calls on the universe.
Mm-hmm.
What we need to know is that the reason why their rituals don't work without us is because we are the original people. Everything that was created and made was for us. It was for our benefit. The food is for our benefit. The animals are for our benefit. The sky, the sun, all of these things are for our benefit. And we're supposed to have the power to command these things. Somewhere along the line, during our sleeping period, and I'll explain that one day, they took advantage. And so now we're in a position where we're fighting for our lives. At least that's what we think. But actually, what we should be fighting for is returning to the earth,
Yes.
returning to the universe. That's where all of our power is.
Mhm.
is where we began, because like everything else on this planet that is original, it came through the soil, and so did we. So therefore we operate the same. Now I want to talk to you about something very simple. I'm not going to take up too much time because we only have an hour.
While you're finding that, can I ask a question? So that when you say we come from the soil, that's like that Anahuia story about the children coming from the earth.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Mhm.
And I don't understand how we don't understand that. We don't even follow that. We on this Jesus shit. Jesus saying showed his face,
You
and we
know,
won't even. Oh man.
Danielle, actually, that's part of her studying. That's why she calls herself Danielle Naniwaya.
Exactly.
Would you like to give them some information on how that works? And that's why they call us the autochthonous. Would you like to explain all that to them, Danielle?
Okay, yeah, I might as well. Matter of fact, I might as well just go ahead and get into the We Are the Star People part because
Danielle, your mic is you come in kind of garbled.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear it. We can hear you fine. Okay, that's better.
Okay, so I might as well start going into the We Are the Star People part. I actually did a video on this a couple months ago, um, and I want to share some of this information with you all because in order to fully comprehend the importance of ritual is to American Indian Aboriginal people, you have to understand who you truly are and your interconnectedness with this universe. So we are said to have come from the stars. There are multiple different American Indian tribes who hold this belief that we came from the stars fell down from the heavens, and we were planted into the ground and we sprouted out from the ground. So me, Deborah, and Okima, we are all descendants of the Mississippi Choctaw, and which was one of the tribes that held the same belief that we came from the stars and we were planted to the ground. My name, Danielle Naniwaya, I got that from the Naniwaya Mound, which is located in Northeast Mississippi. And that mound is where our ancestors said that our people originated from.
Say that one more time. Say that again.
The Naniwaya Mound in Mississippi, that is the mound that the Choctaw people, our ancestors, said that we originated from.
Right,
We were
right,
planted into the ground and we sprouted up from the ground.
right.
Oh, but I thought the man was made from rib. No, no, you
No,
wrote
you
it.
know what? We can't ascribe to that theory. That actually, I'm going to be honest with you. It's not that that didn't happen, but that description in the Bible is not the original people. That description in the Bible is actually Adam and his wife, which is this. All all original life comes from the womb. That is, as Danielle said, the interconnection. That is the Trinity that we must live in. It is the universe, the planet, and original life.
Exactly.
Also, it is Father, Mother,
And child.
and children. And from those two trinities, there is a circle which bind those trinities. And you'll see the Jew wearing this on his on his neck, but that's a symbol. He can only wear it as a symbol because he cannot actually operate it. Only we can. So what you've got is you've got people that let's understand too the word creation, which comes from Kriya. Adam was created. That means he was produced and manufactured. Look that word up, Kriya. He was manufactured from either a petri dish And we see that all the time. This is why we're living in a world where things are being manufactured all the time. Because we've allowed Adam to be in charge of our planet. So
He's a high.
Eve, I'm going to say this because this is important, because we got to understand why we cannot mix with other so-called races, because Eve came from Adam's rib, not Adam's womb, because Adam didn't have a womb. That makes Eve a hybrid male. In other words, she's a man. She has a womb. And that's why you'll find trouble for her. She needs our DNA, our melanin, and you'll find that in vitro fertilization. In order for her to carry children properly, they need our DNA, our melanin to do so. Now that's a whole nother scientific thing, but that is who Adam is. We cannot be confused with them. Go ahead, Danielle.
Yeah, so everything you said is right on point. And it's very important to know these things, to know that, we are the original people, we're natural beings. You know, those other people who aren't original, they're hybrids. They were created. They're not original to this earth. And this is why they can't live here. The sun is constantly heating up, and, they can't survive it, which is a clue in itself, to let you know that they aren't supposed to be here.
Right.
They're not original to this land. So,
Right.
so we really have to get back to just reawaken our DNA memory, and coming into comprehension to know who we are in relation to the universe. Because as Deborah stated with the Trinity, which is the universe, the planet, and the Aboriginal people, we are all one. It's not one entity that's greater than the other. We're all one union.
Right.
And
so what
to
happens to Danielle happens to me.
Exactly. And we have to understand that the universe, the way it operates, it's always going to be in benefit to us because we're so interconnected to it. We're the only ones that have the power to access the universe and access these different portals and dimensions throughout the planet. We command it. The universe responds to our commands. We used to be able to call down the rain. That was the original weather control. People keep talking about HARP. HARP is an artificial entity that is based on our power, because our emotions and our energy has the power to change the weather.
Right. I was reading an article, and I think this was really some interest on, and I kept this article for proof. What's the name of that show where they do documentaries? Not documentary now, but I think it was either ABC or CNN had done a documentary, and they began their question with this: why is it the Indians of the day don't look like the Indians of their ancestors? That's number one. Well, we know the answer to that, right? Number two, they asked, why is it the Indians used to be able to manipulate the universe, the elements? Why is it that they're no longer able to do this? What happened to them? Well, of course, when they were asking this question, they were trying to figure out, well, is there something happening? Because they're still in their mind looking at this ethnic white Mexican that has been put in place by the cabal and the shadow government to mimic us. Now, this is important because I'm calling out someone right now when I talk about mimicking. I did a paper on something very important called Mimicking the Mimicker. And when I saw this picture of two hawks running around the fire with these ethnic white Indians, I said to myself, They're mimicking us,
They're
and
pretty.
you're mimicking them. How are you going to ever call anything natural with that? That is something we need to think about, because like Danielle said, we're not only connected, we're interconnected. That means, and this is where white people come in, because they don't understand this, but they need to if they want to save their own lives. I've often asked, why haven't they killed us off? They certainly have the power to do it. You know why? Because if they wipe us off the planet 100%, that universe will not work for them, and neither will the planet. Our mother will start preparing to replace them. She will literally chew them up, bury them, and start all over. And we'll be back again. Now, the shadow government knows this, because the shadow government is a derivative of Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve were put here for a specific time, because we have a night. So I want you to understand this, because all this plays into rituals. We have a 9-day week, a 9-day cycle, according to Sirius, which is 1,000 days. 1,000 years is like 1 day on this planet. So our cycles are in 9. They have been in power for more than 8,000 years. I should say they've been on this planet for more than 8,000 years. And so now their time is coming to a close. And because they're angry that their time is coming to the close, they want everybody to die. They're spiteful. That's really what it is. They're angry and spiteful. If we can't be here, then no one's going to be here. So this is why you find them going after the original people and the Anglo-Saxon and the sun, because they know if they block the sun, they're going to cause so much chaos to Mother Earth, because she's not going to have it.
How? I mean, How do you block out the sun?
Well,
ask the Jews, because Bill Gates is, one of the people who are trying to get this project going. They've actually have been testing out different devices to block out the sun. Like they're trying to make a big balloon or some type of something, of that nature to block it out.
yes.
And they're trying to do it under the guise of, oh, it's global warming and blah, blah, blah. Like, I mean, we can take the sun. We have melanin, we're killed by the sun. They just can't take it.
Right. And
that shit won't work.
No, it's not. They can never destroy the planet. All they're going to do is piss her off. That's really all they're doing, is pissing her off. And so and let me tell you something, this has happened before. Yes, and in my studies, I was looking at plagues. And did you know that the Black Plague is the exact of what's going on right now? Here's what happened with the Black Plague. They sent in, first of all, they killed all the cats. Then this is the short version. They sent in a ship full of rats. All the men on the ship were dead from this disease. The rats got off of the ship and killed and started to spread the disease. This was planned. The government there had outlawed the Jews. They could not be in any of their political regime at all. Here's what they did. One of the Jews poisoned the water, and he confessed to it. Here's another thing that was going on. There was a global warming during that time, and they used that global warming to tell people that they needed to cut down on the amount of people. Same thing Bill Gates is doing. Same exact thing. Same exact thing. They wanted to eliminate people. Here's who they eliminated. the original people and the Anglo-Saxon, they became very angry at the Jews because they were like, well, why aren't they dying off? Why isn't this plague affecting them the way it's affecting us? And one Jew confessed that he was hired to poison the water. And so what they did from there, people want to know, why is it they didn't want the Jews there? Because they had had enough of them. And they kicked them out because they had caused the pestilence and the disease, and they had lied about global warming, because this is a cycle that our planet goes through in order to cleanse the planet, period.
Exactly.
So I noticed that you said Anglo-Saxon twice. Can you explain that?
Yes. Okay, I studied also. I wanted to know where the white man came from. And because my son kept asking me, Mommy, as a child, Mommy, where do white people come from? So it prompted me to do research, to be honest. And that is how I found out about Adam and Eve, and I did my research. But science has proven, and I'm going to see if I can put up that information. I also have that. Science has proven that every blonde, blue-eyed being came from the Black Sea around 6,000-7,000 years ago. That's right in line with our 9-year or 9,000 year cycle. Right in line with it. So that is where they come from. And this is what they say. This entire race of people comes from one man that also goes with Adam and Eve. Because we know that it should be coming from a womb or a woman, but it doesn't. It says they come from a male who was pale skin, blue eyes, blonde hair. That describes Adam exactly. Then I hope that answered that question.
No, I mean, listen, I'm not really into them like that. But it's no, because it like you say, I'm not mimicking them. I'm not doing
right. But it's really good to know who they are and where they come from and how they got here.
Okay, yeah, but I just condense it by they're the beast. I just condense it and keep going because there's so much shit to do.
Okay.
That ideology of what you say, when you say Jews and Anglo-Saxons, a lot of people get confused on that because a lot of people just say Judaism is just a religion.
Oh no, the Jew is a combination of the Anglo-Saxon and the African. He's a mixture. He's a mixture race.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's why I separate them from the Anglo-Saxon. The Anglo-Saxon is for lack of a better term, a pure race in itself. When I say pure, that means it is untampered by any other race because its phenotype is straight hair, light eyes,
right,
keen senses.
Right.
But when you look at the Jew, you will see that he has other phenotypes.
Right. No, I just thought everybody should know that so they can know for themselves, know, because people get confused with that, they're confusing.
And phenotype, when it comes to ritual and accessing the dimensions and the spirit world and all the other doors, phenotype plays a major role. Kinky hair, big noses, full lips, and as described, also the way our eyes are made, the American Indian eyes, the original people's eyes, all of that plays into being recognized by the universe, the planet, and the soil, because that's a match to our DNA. When I talk about two hawks, when you're running around the ground and you're making this energy, the soil is looking for that DNA that made nappy hair,
Right.
fat noses, and big lips.
Right.
Wow. Why don't you introduce I am Okima?
This is I am Okima, and she talks about why we are not supposed to eat our animals.
So, hello. My first question is, can you guys hear me and see me clearly?
Yeah, I can.
I can. Can you
Okay.
hear Carrie?
Okay.
I can hear her fine.
Okay. First of all, I would just like to say it is a privilege and an honor to be called by the universe. And the first thing that I want to talk about is what my mother was saying, which is we are not to be eating meat. And not only are we not to be eating meat, we're not supposed to be killing these animals. We're not supposed to be cooking this meat nor putting in our bodies. So that means if you have someone in your home that is a meat eater, we are not supposed to be cooking it for them. We are not supposed to be dealing in animal blood, period. And the reason being is because we have forgotten as a people what it is like to be hunted ourselves. What it was said about us is we have mothers, our mothers and fathers have no connection to their children. We have no connection to our parents. We are unintelligent people. We have no way of communicating. Well, these are things that we think about animals. We think as if their life is less than ours. When actually what it is our natural animals are also a part of the great the great what we call nature, mother nature, the complete planet as a whole known as I am. So without one of these things we are not complete. So when you think about eating an animal, you are literally eating yourself. You're literally eating mother nature. Also, when we eat these animals and dealing in animal blood, and I'm going to also add the fact that there are rituals being done on our children as far as abortion. And when we abort our children, we are also dealing in rituals with blood. So what happens is the more we engage in these behaviors, things of abortion, things of eating animals, we are allowing our energy and our power and our nature to be used by our enemy. And as long as we are participating, then it is on us. It is easy to complain and say that they are allowed to do rituals, but we must stop entering in to what it is that they are doing. We are actually working against ourselves. And that is why it is important that we literally go back and remember who we are. Remember by listening to our DNA, spending time with yourself, calling out to Mother Nature, and not only and walking in who we are.
Yeah.
The universe has been speaking to me about how we function, our natural laws. And eating animals and aborting our children is not something that we did, and it is not natural. And as long as we do these things, we will continue to be affected by our enemy's curses, such as our men and women
Excuse me,
being
Miss
shot
Okima.
down.
Miss Okima, let me.
Yes.
Can I have you clear up a problem that this happens a lot when people like you speak, and we always get these when you say not to kill animals and not to eat animals, we always have some of us in the back said, "What you mean? Our ancestors didn't eat meat?" Could you clear up, the eating meat, what it does on the industrial scale that we're doing it on, and the gluttony and the greed that we're doing it on? Can you explain the difference between the two concepts of what this young man is talking about?
Um, First of all, it is important to respect the animal, because when you stop respecting the animal, then we are not respecting ourselves and ourselves as a whole. And that, for the first part, is very important. We must be aware of the full natural life cycle. And anytime that you're coming out of that, you are um, actually playing a part in the curse that you are saying you do not want to be a part of. So, as a people, we can complain and continue to say, why are we able to be shot down? And why are we able to be smothered? Why are they able to do the things that they are doing to us?
Mm-hmm.
When even in the Bible, the scripture says, come out of the world. As long as you are participating in anything that of this world, then you will reap the reap. Well, you will what's the correct word? There will be repercussions.
Mm-hmm.
There's action and there is consequence. This is not about what you feel, what you think, what you think is best. See, the problem is that we reason in our feelings. There is law, and we are to follow that law if we want to get out of the trouble that we have allowed ourselves to be in.
Exactly.
Period.
Yeah. Can I interject here for a second, Okima, if
Go
it's
ahead.
okay with you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Okima is explaining this perfectly. Here's the problem when people ask, did our ancestors eat meat? I'm going to say this because I know I am an ancestor. That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, I know I'm an ancestor because my memory, I remember being here before, and I was a counselor in each of those times, in each of those worlds. I know they did not eat meat. Not only that, they walked with the very animals that we're afraid of today. And let me give you an example. I watched a show the other day of some white people, and they know this, who said, we're going to go to Alaska where the bear is, but we're going to go to a region where humans are barely seen. So these animals are not going to attack us because nobody's killing them. And I watched that because I wanted to make sure that the universe was telling me the truth. They were as close to those bears as if you were on one side of the street and they were on the other side of the street. They didn't attack those men. They didn't try to come near those men. They went on with their bear life, and those men were able to observe them up close. You know why? Because they didn't have to fear them. Our animals are afraid of us because we have allowed, they're waiting for us to change because we have allowed this beast to hunt them down for sport, kill them, grind them up for meat, and serve it up for dinner. And we are playing in that ritual with them every day. And then you ask, did our ancestors eat meat? Well, yeah, that's exactly why we're in the shape we're in today,
I was.
because they did not honor Mother Nature. And
Mm-hmm.
we have to go back home if we're going to get out of this mess.
Exactly.
Those who choose to eat meat, I don't have a problem with you. That's on you. because this is going to come to a close. You need to understand and determine where you're going to stand in this. You could be a meat eater. I'm not opposing that. But know that our animals are going to play a part in this awakening. You need to, one of the things that we discussed is why we decided not to eat meat. Because when they do become a part of this, the last thing we need is them to smell themselves in our blood. Blood is the
Oh,
most important thing on this planet. That's why they spill it.
damn.
Exactly. And here's the thing:
That's right.
a lot of people don't want to take accountability for their actions. They want to blame the white man for, everything in our condition. But a lot of stuff we're bringing onto ourselves because we're out of code. Yes, there was a point where our ancestors started eating meat, but as Deborah was saying, like they went against code. Just like when some of our people decided to mate outside of their lineage, that also was against code. So
Yeah.
we keep cursing ourselves every day and adding on to the destruction and chaos of our own people by going against the laws of nature.
Yes,
You right about that.
absolutely.
People won't admit it, but
Um, Also, while I'm sitting here, I'm hearing the universe say, also, it's very important as far as also our protection. So, um, doing things that are unclean and that are not um, a part of our nature is
Mhm.
also what's keeping our protectors from not being able to intervene,
Yeah.
because we have protectors. In fact, um, I'm not sure, Danielle, but I know for certain my mother and I have seen our protectors. And it's not that they don't want to intervene, but if you are doing things such as my sister Danielle has said is coming out of cold, then we are closing the door to our protection.
Mm-hmm. I think it's
Um,
important. I think it's. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
um, Thanks, mommies. So also we must remember that my mother was speaking about walking with the animals. We have to be aware that there's so much more of nature than we comprehend. They have us thinking that nature is just the dirt and the air, the elements of the earth, and Mother Nature and the universe, where there are so many other parts to nature. And the thing is what we need to comprehend is that what you eat, the universe eats. What you eat, Mother Nature eats. We really need to get, because we are one body. Same as the oxygen is Mother Nature's oxygen. So if you're eating meat and you're literally poisoning your blood, then that is what we are putting into Mother Earth. So we are affecting everything that we are connected to. And that's what I
That's
wanted to
right.
say.
That's right.
yeah.
Because we are totally connected to Mother Nature to the point. That's what interconnection means. That's like your baby. You got your baby in you. You drink beer, that baby drinks beer. You eat crap, that baby eats crap. All things natural are relative to all things natural.
Hmm. Something else, came to me too, regarding picking vegetation and harvesting plants. We have got to stop over harvesting our crops, because really you're supposed to ask permission to even take from the earth.
That's
You can't
right.
steal from the earth. You have to ask, and that's what our ancestors used to do. They used to ask and do like a little prayer. Well, I don't like the word prayer, but that's what we did, and that's what we need to get back to doing, because capitalism has played a big part in the destruction of this planet. People are buying way more items than they need.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to really stop with the greed and playing a part in this capitalist system.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Absolutely. I want to give a parable. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I want to say something else. When the universe says something, I want to be able to say it. Um, um, the thing is that the universe keeps speaking to me about rebellion,
mhm,
and that our people are very rebellious.
Yep.
And the reasons why we're so rebellious is because we're angry. We're angry because we are not being treated the way that we should be treated. And we're thinking, well, where's our intervention? And we're thinking, well, why is this being allowed to happen in the first place? And the universe is saying, you need to look at your rebellion and your actions. You are the problem. We are the problem,
Yeah.
not the white man, not whatever it is we think we need to blame. So, all of this rebellion because we're angry, this is on us.
And part of that anger, if I may give a parable of something, this is exactly why they gave us religion. And
mhm,
I want to speak on Christianity, which is this whole addition to the Bible, because the original so-called Bible was really a letter from our ancestors, because they were warning us that Adam and Eve had turned angry from their original purpose. And it says, don't eat with them, don't uh, don't eat with them, don't talk with them, don't let them into your gates. And that would be our city right now. Look at it, it's overrun with Adam and Eve's offspring.
mhm,
Don't, and it says, do not enter into contract with them. There's a whole list of do nots. Don't eat their food. Don't eat their king's food. Don't have sex with them. Do not have children by them, because they will become, quote unquote, strange children.
mhm.
Okay? Now, here's what Christianity did. And I'm going to try to shorten this parable if I can, because we don't have very much longer. But I reckon Christianity as a household, because I'm a parent. And there have been times that I left my house with my children, and I've given them a list of things they cannot do and what they can do while I was gone. The writers of our script told us what we should not do, but Jesus came along and knocked on the door of my children's house. Let's just say that for the speed. My children, first of all, did the first thing wrong. They answered the door.
Mhm.
The second thing they did wrong when Jesus knocked was they opened the door. The third thing
Amen.
they did was they listened to this motherfucker talk. Can I say that? I'm sorry. But what did he tell my children? Hey, I know your mama's gone right now, but I'm her son. I'm her other son. And she told me to tell you that I can come in and I can look, I'm good. My children let that son of a bitch in, and he started teaching them. You know, I had a dream, and it said, what I say is clean is clean. You can eat what you want. You can fuck who you want. You can have children by who you want. Want a contract? And that's where we are right now with this religion. And that is why it is so hard to get these people in religion to come out. You know why? Because they have made a pledge to something that's very important to this universe. Blood. They are covered in a dead man's blood.
Mhm.
They have said they are covered in it, and they don't want to come out.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even. Oh man, god damn.
It's see, because we don't think of it, because we don't see. Christianity tells you something that don't even exist. Supernatural, witchcraft. What do they call it? Miracles. That shit
Mhm.
ain't real.
You
If
know,
you and if you are in line with your code, all of that stuff happens automatically.
On your
Period.
behalf.
how is it that we're still? I mean, seriously, how are we still stuck in that shit?
Are you asking how we could come out, or are you asking why are we still stuck? We still stuck because we won't stop. We won't come out. We're comfortable in Jesus. We're
Exactly.
comfortable in Jesus. And this is what the Democrats, let me tell you, our people are very comfortable with welfare. And I'll call that fake welfare because they got welfare from us. Because we have the original welfare queen. And in our culture, the welfare queen was someone who chose the male that she wanted to have warriors by. That's a whole nother story.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. So we're stuck in their hand-me-outs, not hand-me-downs. We're going to give you this because you're listen to the wording, underserved. Another ritual word, the poor. Another ritual word, the disenfranchised. All these are ritual words for Black people, African-American people, the Negro, but not for the Aboriginal people. It wasn't designed for us. It was designed for the mindset of us who want to stay in. And that's why they want to, because it's easy. It's easier for them to tell you, if you work for me for X amount of hours, I'll give you just enough money to buy a car and put some gas in it. They're happy with that. They don't know that everything else is theirs. Y'all can chime in at any time.
I definitely want to say it's very important at this moment with everything that is going on. If you're serious about participating in us being rescued, then it is time to come out of the world. Let's make it plain. I didn't say just come out of the church building. I didn't say just come out of Jesus. I said come out of the world. And that also means for our Black people with all these talents to come out of Hollywood.
Mhm.
To come, that's just another
That's
blood
right.
contract.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because that
So
evil cabal that promised you'll be safe, they lie. You trust a liar. They can't not lie.
Exactly.
Let me just say,
this
as a
world,
person, born and raised in Los Angeles, seriously, it's a beautiful place. But y'all right about that Hollywood demonic shit. It's horrible, and how it's feasted on sisters is something that we don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
See, we talk about all this, what this shit's been doing to these white girls. What happened to all them sisters that you've only seen once or twice and never seen again?
Yeah.
What happened to them?
I wish I knew. Or I shouldn't say
I wanted
wish.
to back on something else real quick. It's very important that we start listening to listening to words. And the two that I want to bring up, because the universe is showing me this, is entertainment. First thing you have to do is to enter. Okay? Entertainment. Then you have the internet. And here's the thing, and this goes with coming out of the world. As long as we're entering into the things that they are making for us to be trapped in, there's no rescue. Because you are trapping yourself. It is your decision. And what needs to be realized is that we are the first net. Now, I like to call it a web, a function of things working as a whole. We are the first net. And that is the net that we need to return to, our natural net.
Yes.
So coming out of the world means leaving those demonic, unclean, murderous blood.
Genocide.
Yes.
Because they're trying to kill a whole
genocide
genetic race of people, not race. Yeah. But before we go on, I want to, if I may, I want to talk about, we're here under my organization. All of us work for that organization. It's called the Hindsight Project.
Mhm.
And what we do is we are beginning to put lectures together so that you don't have to just wait for us to do this once a month. Now, the Hindsight Project is also with my company, the social construct and reality therapy. And what I've done to help us is I put together some lectures for June on Wednesdays and Sundays. Now, this is separate from when you go to the website, you will see on their website a price list. This is separate from that price list. This is only going to be $7 that will take care of the cost of putting this up, and it's going to be on Zoom. Now, right now, we're going to invite you, those people who want to hear more about who we are, where we are, why we're where we are, and how to get out of this shit. That's basically what this is going to be about, or is about. So I'm going to put up the link to it. You can buy your seat or purchase your seat for $7. It's on Eventbrite. I'm going to put the link up for Eventbrite. And Danielle and Okima have agreed to be a part of the lecture series. So you'll get a full amount of what we're talking about and the knowledge that you need to be free from. Well, basically, this cabal is going down. There's a whole lot of other things that's going to go down because their time to reign is over.
Mhm.
So is this what we're seeing now with all this stuff? Because I see they're ramping up the rioting and all. The rioting is like, why are people rioting? And you're in a time frame when no business is being done. I mean, are those rituals that are happening or what? And we're
Yeah,
participating.
as a matter of
And we're
fact,
participating in them.
As a matter of fact, let me explain that whole ritual that they're entering in. In order to have a ritual that literally pokes or gets the universe to respond, you must have flesh and blood. That's number one.
Mhm.
That's who they are. This original flesh and blood. That's why they killed that man, to provoke the original flesh and blood. The second thing you must have is smoke. That is why they sent their people in to make it a riot. They set the fire. The next thing you must have is water. So the water puts the fire out. So you have to have flesh, blood, smoke, water, and earth.
Mhm.
They've got all the elements of completing their ritual. Their ritual is complete now.
And they used us to do it.
Yeah.
So the ritual is done for a reason. What is the reason that ritual is done for?
Okay, they're inciting the universe. The universe has realms, what do you call dimensions, and the planet. They're saying to the universe, we are cursing these people. We want to continue to kill them. And so we're going to bring them on our altar. See, that they don't realize they're actually walking into an altar. And in this altar opens up a fourth dimension called fear. And in that fourth dimension, most people don't know this, but the fourth dimension is a government dimension. That's why they call themselves the shadow government, because this is where shadows live. Naniwaya can explain the shadow government, because that's also a story of the Choctaws. See, they understand who we are perfectly. And they know how to pull us into their altar of smoke, fire, blood, all of that. So really, they can't curse us. But when you step onto that altar that they've prepared, you become their sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
And the universe says, well, okay, if that's what you want, it to be sacrificed. Because you have to understand, the universe was made for our requests. These people don't even know they're requesting to be a part of that ritual, that death ritual. So then they can kill us at will. That's why they're so open with it. And that's why their government never charges them with a real crime, because they are being governed by the laws of the universe based on us. So we get mad. I can't believe it. You didn't charge this man with murder. Yeah, because in your universe, you already said you wanted to be murdered.
Right.
Damn.
It's really simple.
We have 5 more minutes because you said you wanted to do an hour,
Yeah.
but I'm cool. We can keep rolling.
What's
I
up to
think
the other
I think
ladies?
I think the audience is with me. Press 1, audience, if you with me, so I can coerce her to keep going. 'Cause I'm like, damn.
We might.
It's up to them. Would you guys like to do another 30 minutes?
Yeah, we can keep going because there's a lot more to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, if they're not bored, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, can we go another 30 minutes? Well, what's going on? Well, what's going on in the world today? All this stuff and what you ladies were saying about how we're into it. It's like we invented the shit ourselves. We're just into it, knee deep into it.
Mm-hmm.
Because by nature, we're perfect. So everything we do is done in perfection. If they were to, no matter what they give us, they know we're going to perfect it.
Right.
But you ladies, come on, jump in now.
Whew.
So what should we be doing now?
Well,
I mean, even a small number of indigenous people that waking up to the point, finding out who they are and that they have a place on this planet, in this world, and in this universe. What are some of the things just individual people by themselves? Because getting us to work as a group up until this point has been futile. So what can people who are just getting into finding out who they are, understanding who they are, what could they do to start making changes in and around them?
well, first of all, coming out of the churches and Christianity, because when you're praying to these man-made gods that they give you, you're actually giving power to those people. Because as Deborah said, all of these deities that people are praying to and acknowledging, I mean, that's their story.
Mm-hmm.
That's their creation story. So we're giving power to them. They know that they have to use us in order to manifest anything for them, because they can't call on the universe. They can't call on the elements because they didn't come from the elements. So we have to
Ooh.
humanity. That's number one. Number two, we need to really start just being silent and listening to the messages that the universe has for us,
Mm-hmm.
to guide us into doing the right things in terms of rituals, because we have to start doing our rituals to fight back against these rituals that they have created against us. And that's actually what me, Deborah, and Okuma have been doing. We have a group on Facebook called Cosmic Moon Rituals for American Indian Aboriginals. And every new and full moon, we come together and we work with the elements and we just meditate. We let the universe speak through us, and we do these rituals to protect our people, um, to help um, assist and align with the universe and carrying out her mission, to restore our land, to take out people in the elite. So we do all that in our rituals.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. On the physical level, we must operate on the physical level as well. And let's be real. One of the things that we have going with the Hindsight Project is we are collecting funds and we're asking people to donate for what we're calling law and lands funds. Because we need to find people who were really called by the universe. If we're going to put our dollars somewhere, with people who are gathering those dollars, finding land, and those who want to be a part of that should be moving their families to these lands where we have more control over what we eat, drink, what we see, what our children hear, so on and so forth. The second thing we must prepare for if you can't come out the city is when we must operate by the history that we know. We know that this has gone on before.
Exactly.
We know that the water was poisoned. So what you need to be doing is gathering a water source and food in your home, because a lot of us are not going to make it out of the city.
And somebody just mentioned in herbology, it's funny because I was going to mention that too, because I study herbal medicine, and we have to come out of these doctor offices and hospitals because these people, what they do, they're not trying to heal you. They want you to come in and keep paying for these medications that are filled with chemicals and poisons. They want to experiment on you. They haven't healed not one person. I haven't seen any doctor that has healed anybody. So we have to get back to what Mother Nature has put out for us, which is returning to our plants and our trees to heal the ailments, eating right. We got to get back to that.
Yes, we do. There's so much we have to do, and it's not like we can't do it. And the universe will give us time to do it the moment we start preparing and saying, universe, we want to be prepared for the fall of the cabal. The universe will prepare the planet to give us time to do so. Now, let's be real. The majority of us are not going to make it.
Yep.
I'm sad to say it, because their mindset, they have been so indoctrinated with the handout and the religion that they're not going to come out.
Yeah.
We're going to lose loved ones. And I hate that, because I have loved ones and I don't want to lose them. But we have to go forward. Those of us who are hearing this, the universe put you here to hear this. And not only to hear it, but to spread it to your family. It's not up to you whether they take the message. It's up to you to give the message. Period. Because we have all experienced the hate of those who don't want to come out. Because you have to remember, they are listening to the words of Adam and Eve. And let's face it, Adam and Eve was the very first virus planted on this soil in the last 9,000 years. So everything operates as a virus when it comes from them. Because the planet, the universe and planet does not make viruses. Remember, that comes from man. And Adam and his offspring are man.
Yeah.
So what we're seeing now is we're seeing all this. They're trying to incite these riots, and I know it's a way to try to get in to the communities and start killing off the people. We're having a sister on tonight from Atlanta. She gonna bring it about what they're doing in Atlanta. All these riots are popping up everywhere. It's really comical when you really look at what's going on.
Yes.
In all this confusion. And I see a lot of us, it's like the sister Danielle was saying, we join into it. We get into it like we invented it. And we're seeing all this stuff going on. What are your words to the people who are hearing this, and what should they be doing when they see this stuff going on around them?
Well, to me, get off the altar. If you're listening to this, you already know that's an altar they're asking you to come into. Get off the altar. Go home. Go to the store. Buy water. Prepare yourself. Get some food. Get some blankets. Make sure you're going to be able to sustain the fall of the cabal.
Exactly.
So what do you think about, you hear a lot of, you hear a lot of indigenous people talk about, say, let's get land and we all got to come together. And when and it's not happening, when it's not happening fast enough.
Yeah.
And the people who have all the land, they act like that little Gollum, that little Smeagol from the
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings. It's mine, mine, all mine. And it's like we can't get nothing going because no ingenuity is going on psychologically with the people. We just think we got land just to tell people we have land. We're not doing nothing with it.
Right.
What's your outlook on that?
Well, there are some. I'm connected with some people who actually I'm trying to pattern. Should we go, if they give the money and we are looking to buy land, these people who I have asked me not to give their location, but I've known them for a long time, and they're buying land, and this is what they're doing. They've sent me pictures of children carrying wheelbarrows and fishing and hunting in their own education system. And this is what they're preparing for what is to come. And here, what we're trying to do is buy more and more land where we're connected with each other. Like I would like to buy land next to them where I'm connected with them. You know why? Because first of all, they're prepared to protect themselves. They are a militia. And I've been saying over and over again, we have got to become military minded. I have documents for anyone that wants to start building a militia in their community. You email me and I will send it to you. We have got to become military minded.
Yes.
And we can't be afraid of it. That's why Governor Whitmer wants to say, well, we're not going to let them buy guns. But we have to put our lands together. We have to come together. I know people who are doing it. And that's why we have our law and lands fund, because as soon as we get enough money in there, we're going straight and buy at least 10, 20 acres. Next time we get enough money, we're going to go straight and buy another 10 to 20 acres. And we're looking for people who, as you say, Carrie, got some hands. Because we're not coming there to sit down and party and have a bunch of screw fest. No, we're going to work. We got to save our lives.
Exactly.
So this is what she meant by hands. So it's not that so when you say you need 10,000 people, you don't need 10,000 people. You need 20,000 hands.
20,000 hands.
You see what I'm saying? It makes it, man, and do you know what we can do? And so if you just looked at what the so-called Negro, African-American, Black, monkey has done in the past 80 years here in America, you would literally piss your pants and stand in awe of what they've created under the conditions they're in.
That's right.
And these are the kind of outlooks we got to have about ourselves. I can't look at nobody like they less or nothing like me. I can't look at nobody like an animal. I know that's how we've been trained, but if we keep doing that route, I know you can see what direction we're going.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things I noticed you sisters are burning candles and sage.
Yes.
We talk about
we're
inciting
the universe.
Okay, so could you explain what that does, so people who don't know what that means know what it means?
It's the elements, because when you have your candle, which is the element of fire, you have what right now I'm burning sage, which is traditional for American Indians in North America. That's the air. Then you have, when I work on my altar, I usually have a cup of water or bowl of water there to represent the water. And then I have some rocks or sticks or whatever to represent that element of earth. Now, of course, if you're out in nature, you don't have to gather a lot of those things. You probably just need a candle. But, when you're inside the house, a candle, some sage or whatever indigenous herb you want to burn, a cup of water, and some rocks and sticks. We come from these elements. These elements all work together.
Yeah.
Us, we are the fifth element. We're the dark matter.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
these five elements working together, we're able to call on these energies within the universe to work in our favor.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's something we need to understand why they're going after our lungs. Think about it. Because we're an auditory people.
Mm-hmm.
Language for us is auditory, comes from here. Language for them, because they're built different than we are, is symbolic. That's why you see them with so many symbols. Language is a symbol for them.
Mm-hmm.
It is an auditory movement for us. Everything we say, everything we speak is moving the universe on our behalf. And when I say, and my daughter talks about the universe is moving on our behalf all the time. So if we say to the universe, whatever we want, I'm sorry, I'm hearing from her. She's putting into, it's a performance. It's a performance. Everything performs. The grass, it's a performance, if that can make sense to
No, it does make sense,
okay.
and this is what I don't get. How are the things that you're saying? This is stuff we see in front of us, our faces every day.
Yeah.
And yet we ignore it like we don't see it, and we don't use it for our benefit. That's the shit that got me twisted. It's like, huh?
Yeah.
Like the sister was talking about before, the animals. We don't stop and look and squirrels and really try to communicate with them, and you'll see that they cool with you. All these animals. I just can't believe how we've cut ourselves off from that shit.
Mm-hmm.
We have.
So that's what I'm saying. What you're saying. So when you sister speak, and this is why it's cool, because it's triple time. This is what I see when you sister speak. You ever see a daffodil being blown, and the little daffodils flying out? That's what it sounds like when you sister speak.
Thank you.
Thank you. With in the risk of sounding pompous, I'm going to let them know something that is happening on the planet, not just in America. We are in the time of the 144,000. And I know that's hard because I just told you to come out of religion. But remember, the original script was a letter. They tainted that letter. And there's quite a few of us who've been put in place all over the world and in the planet. Those are two different things. Those who actually are seeking the universe will know who they are. You'll know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanna comment on Golden Heart, and you see her comment is up on the screen. Okay. Who are we buying these lands from? The white man? Yeah, we're buying them from them because we sold it to them. Yeah, hey, come on, damn. And this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying with us. We always talking this dumb shit and don't know what we're talking about.
What is she
These are your lands. This is your home. These are your artifacts. All these parks, all these national parks, they're yours. These people came over here and convinced you that you were some black rock that never moves, and they can pimp you whenever they want to, and you fall for it. And it's especially fucked up when it's a woman that's doing it, Because, like the sister said earlier, Nana Weah said, well, she didn't have to say nothing because her name says it all.
Yeah.
And we got to stop being dumb. And that's what pisses me off more than anything. It's like, God damn, y'all. Do we have to? We got to buy the land because we sold it.
Exactly. Like, who
That's
are
right. We sold our inheritance. All of these things are written right there in the script. We sold our inheritance for a bag of beans.
And we act like, and then we try to pretend like we didn't do it.
exactly?
So now you're seeing all these. I'll take it with the civil rights movement now. Now they pretending like they did. I didn't. You didn't. It wasn't like it was just like that. You shine, sold out, and damn, we can see it now. It's hindsight, the hindsight project. We can look back and see what you did.
But these people act like they ain't going to work for the white man every day. That
Right.
you're not buying their house from the white man. Like you're not renting in an apartment by a white man. Everything that you're doing comes from the white man. So what's the difference between us buying land and you doing whatever?
Mm-hmm.
At least
That's right, because you
Part,
live in
part of the
you
reason is that we
you
have
sending
so
your kid to
hardened
the
our
white man's
hearts toward
school.
one another.
Mhm.
You going to the white man's supermarket.
So,
Unless you're living on your own
this
land
is
that
what
you
I'm
bought
saying.
from the white man.
Yeah. So this is why what you sisters, the program you sisters put today was so informative, because we don't really look at our role in the things. We don't really look at how we make stuff pop. Like
That's
this
right.
person, Alta Thomas. We sold it. It wasn't stolen.
That's right.
No.
Sir, you sold it. See, when you go ahead and join their military, you're giving up something in return.
That's right.
When you get their guns, you're giving up something. I know it's not I know you think it's money. It's not. And you should know this by now. This is, I mean, come on. You're not seeing what's happening,
You know,
and the majority of shines that call themselves African American, Black, Negro, all these other names, but what their own people call them is really getting to be a little bit sickening. Come on.
I heard another woman. I heard another woman say this, and this is so true. This could all be over. This could be over quickly. We could have our land back quickly. But we're
Mhm.
so busy arguing with each other, and I will say the word again the universe told me to use, being rebellious and so hard-hearted against one another. When all we have to do is do what we are told. Even if you don't know everything, start there. You don't have to argue with every truth that you are given and then complaining that we're miserable and unhappy and being killed. This is on us. Stop complaining. I'm just tired of it. Stop complaining.
Thank
Take
you.
responsibility for your actions.
That's right.
Mhm.
That's right. Thank you, Okima, because that's really what it is.
Yeah.
In fact, when I was running, when I had decided to run for Congress, what you would see on that front page of my website was accountability to the people. Because we keep thinking government's supposed to make our decisions. No, this government, first of all, was created by us. This what do we call I can't think of the word I'm looking for. I didn't got too excited. Declaration of Independence. Is that what all of that was created by us. All of that.
Constitution, all that.
The Constitution. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. The Constitution. That was created by our ancestors. So if it's in the hands of somebody else, because you have to remember, if we're the people with all the power, how did they take it from us?
We gave it away.
Exactly. Because in my house, when my children were young, and I always go back to that, I was the one with the power. So if they took over my house, it's because I gave it to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I say
And
to
it's
people all
not
the
that we
time,
gave it away.
my
We're
children
still
are
giving it away.
exactly who I raised them to be, good or bad.
Still giving it away.
Yep. We gave away all our resources and we gave away our power, and we're still doing it.
Yep.
And it's always cool that mamas have to sometime leave the house and have us responsible children take care of it. Thanks,
That's
Mom.
And so we disobeyed Mama Earth, Mama Universe. We disobeyed. And so now she's going to clean up our act. And it would be better for us if we did some of that cleaning up. Because, see, Mama Earth is going to spank our ass. Let's just be honest.
She is.
Mm-hmm.
She already doing it.
Yeah, she's going to churn this planet. We're either going to get it right and be in a position where we can survive it, because she's getting ready to clean house. I
Stop
don't make
acting
the
as
rules.
children, stomping around because we don't have our way.
Yep.
Yeah, Golden Heart. No, babe. Listen.
She asked that question to be, to be smart mouth. That's why she asked it.
No, but listen, love. It's nothing against you. Listen, I'm on your side, and I really appreciate you listening to us. But that dumb thinking, that bullshit thinking that we do, I'm sorry. Most of my family's into that. I don't mean to be mean nothing by it, but we got to be off that shit. We got to be on some different type of thinking to move us in a different direction. And I'm not trying to come at you. I wouldn't do that.
Right.
I'm just saying, all that jigaboo ass thinking that we do, I'm sorry. Other people might be into it. I'm not. Come on.
Yeah. It's difficult because even my own relatives, my own bloodline, listen, they hate me. That's part of the process. Like I told you, Adam and Eve was the very first virus. I'm coming in and trying to break up this virus. They're antibody. They're like, when you think about a virus, it mutates. It's like, oh, you want to come in and destroy me? I will mutate and get stronger against everything you say. So we have to be strong. We have to be strong against even questions that, I'm with Carrie on this. We don't mean to be disrespectful, but here's the thing. The moment we succumb to crazy, stupid questions, no offense. I told y'all yesterday, I'm very abrasive. My daughter calls me the human gavel. That's just who I am. So whenever you ask these questions, they have to be cut off at the knee. They have to be cut. Because everybody else is listening. This narrative that we have been given has got to end.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going to survive, mama's whooping. Mama going to whoop ass. And we need to be prepared for that. That's just the truth. Listen, I'm going to tell you what kind of Indians y'all's used to. See, y'all out there with collar nago. I will call the chief out in a minute. Seriously. He's trying to, I saw him the other day selling come on in and get your own credit card because you're going to need money to do. No, let me tell you what mama going to do. Mama going to chew and spit that credit card out and probably shove it up his ass. Because you know why? Mama don't like people fooling her people.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just be honest.
And
I'm not gonna sit here and try to fool you with some bullshit. You need to get away from them shysters.
Mm-hmm.
Deborah, can I ask you a question?
Did I say something wrong?
No. I just want to ask Deborah a question on what you were saying about this Chief Kalanago.
Okay.
This chick that's called Queen Quet, Marcus Garvey, and all these ideologies that come from different places that try to come tell us about our mothers and who we are. Yet we don't go to where those people are from and tell those mothers who they are and where they come from. What does that do to us? I know it's a clusterfuck, but what does that do to us as a whole?
It really turns our psyche away from what I call the organic mind. Now, this is what when you go to my website, you see that I do counseling. That's why I said this What we're getting ready to do is going to be separate from that. But we have literally lost our organic mind, and they're playing on that. They're making everything that you think this system has given you to be successful with. They're playing on that. So you got Chief Calinago, pulling up. He's saying, when I go big, I go big. And then he holds up this credit card. I'm saying to myself, I'd like to see who's going to survive on that shit. Because first of all, when you go into that credit card, he's the one that's benefiting from the money.
Right.
I mean, that's why I'm saying, this is why I'm saying, when somebody talks stupid, you got to cut into that stupid talk. This is why men like him get over on you.
Exactly.
I mean, okay, that he has a foreign accent.
The whole
Okay, so
thing
that
is,
he has a foreign accent and we don't pick it out. How is that?
You have to decide.
I'm sorry, ask the question.
I'm sorry, is asking a question?
How is it that people like him, this motherfucker obviously has a foreign accent. Mm-hmm. How is it that we always fall for that shit? I mean, damn. I mean, we'll fall for that accent before we fall for a brother from Alabama's accent.
Well, let's face it. He's good looking. He is.
That's what you say.
He's a scammer. He's been a scammer probably all his life. Because first of all, he says he's from Colorado. Well, why isn't he where the Colorado people are being chief? Because if he's the chief of the Colorado people, that's where he should be.
Where are the Colorado people?
In the Caribbean.
Thank you. They ain't here in Detroit.
Hey, tell the Colorado to help the brothers in Flint.
He told me some years ago he was going to go back to his people in the Caribbean and run for office. Well, that didn't last because he's back here.
Because the people in the Caribbean ain't taking that.
I mean, if you lived in the Caribbean and you know the people in the Caribbean are some intelligent motherfuckers. They ain't dumb at all.
No, it's the American Negro that's got mental problems.
Check.
And that's why we're here, because that needs to stop. We're not trying to insult our people, our Indian. I'm not talking about the American Negro. I'm talking about the Indian, the original people. They are ready. And we need to do what it takes to get ready. Once that Negro sees us doing it, maybe he'll come in. But until then, if it's just a remnant of us, when mama get done, she'll have a remnant to work with. Maybe that's what it takes. It's a remnant, because most of these people are gone too far and may not be ready for where she's taking us.
I mean, oh yes. What are we supposed to be doing now? The so-called, because I hear, I don't know, these are just things I hear, that the unemployment, people have lost their jobs, people have done, the cities are being unbearable to live in. Isn't this a time in history when we should all look back at the lands that we left when we moved to these cities, these big cities, New York, Chicago, LA, Houston? Isn't this a time when we should look back at those towns and go back and rebuild those towns, since everything is being, I mean, am I making sense?
Yes, and we've talked about this, and that makes some of these, as you said, some of these towns are abandoned. Go just move in if you can, and squat until you own it. I don't know, Carrie, that's your expertise.
No, it's like the sister Golden Heart and Love. Listen, you're a sweetie. I'm not on you, but this is all I'm saying. Questions can be dumb when you're supposed to be on this planet and you walk around this planet like a roach. You walk around this planet like an ant. You walk around this planet like a worm, even though worms don't walk. We should know certain things. We should know certain things. And it shouldn't be no question about it. I should know that you don't disrespect the woman that gives birth to you. I should
Right.
know that. It ain't
Right.
no, he didn't know. I, you, all that dumb shit. That's what I mean by that. Later for all that stupid shit, there are dumb questions.
You
And
know,
we got to start acting like we're fucking stupid all the time. Damn, you know what? We know what we're supposed to do. Asian women don't come over here and sisters do their feet. It don't work like that. Sisters should know that.
let me tell you something. Let me tell you about unity. And I can tell you about the unity of the Asian race and their hybrid aliens. I'll talk about that one day. But I lived when I was in California, I lived downtown. My daughter would tell you I lived in the financial district. And in that financial district is very few of us. So in that apartment living,
Where were you at? In San Francisco or Los Angeles?
Los Angeles, downtown Los Angeles.
She's right.
I had to live with Jews,
Check.
Asians, and
Check.
a few Mexicans.
Check.
Let me tell you, I came downstairs one day because I ran out of coffee. And there's this hole downstairs where you can sit. This place was so beautiful that my apartment, all the apartments had an outside on the inside of the building where I had a garden, beautiful flowers. You can go outside and sit. I would sit out there all night long. Period. I mean, my daughter would tell you it was really nice. But I went downstairs just one day and I was waiting. I was getting ready to go and go to 7-Eleven, which is right down the street, to get me some coffee and some half and half. So I looked at this Asian woman who I talk to every now and then. I said, "Hey, you're just sitting here. Where are you going?" She said, "Oh, I go get coffee and cream." I said, "Oh, I'm going to get some coffee and cream. Why don't you walk down here with me to 7-Eleven?" She said, "Oh, no." I said, "Why not?" She said, "Because I wait for store across the street. I shop with my own people." Check.
Yep.
Did anybody hear that? I can hear a pin drop. She
I didn't know.
wait till they open.
I didn't know Jesus. I didn't know Jesus. So listen. So this is what I want everybody to know, and this is where I'm coming from, and this brother and sister I'm talking to, this is what I'm coming from. This right here is it's an image called the reconciliation between Britannia and her daughter America. If you look at the sister, pay attention to her. If you look at her, you can tell that she's related to all sisters on the panel. She's related to all of them. Look at her. Let me pull her face up because a lot of us we don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that sister's face. She's related to every sister on the panel. I know we don't know. We forgot. My shoes was untied. Listen, I don't have. We listen. The bullshit that we in, we got to get out of it. And I know I'm in it, but I'm looking for a way out of it. We can't be no dumb niggas no more. I know it's cool. I know we get paid for it. I know NASA love us. Later, nah, it doesn't work for us. This is what the indigenous women look like. And if you look at these three sisters, what? You don't see it? Come on, y'all. Damn. Come on. And so listen. We at that 30-minute mark. I know we went a little bit over it, but we went into the other hour. See, can we just finish this hour out and close it after that? Can we do that?
Well, Carrie, what I would like to do is, because we do have a second part we would like to do.
Cool.
And what I want to do is give the number out to the organization. And I also would like to give the number out to where they can call if they want to be a part of this lecture that we put together. The number to the organization is 734-743-1708. That's 734-743-1708. And hopefully Carrie can put it up later on. The
Okay, so
other number.
okay, so hold on. Because I can do it now while you're
Okay.
closing out. What do you want me
Okay.
to do?
Yes,
Let me
put that.
post the
That's
number.
the number.
Say it
Yep.
again. Say the number again.
734
734
743
743
1708.
1708.
And
I'm posting it in the group now.
the number to call to be a part of the lecture series is 248.
Hold up. I gotta do another type.
Okay.
248
763
763
4925.
4925.
And that's where you can call if you want to be a part of the lecture series. Right now, we have it's going to be for the month of June. You'll see when you go to, when we send you the link, you'll see it up on Eventbrite. You'll see you'll see the dates that are available. We're saying at this point, we've got space for 10 people per session. Now, if enough people really want to do it, we will go up to 20 people per session. But right now we're saying 10 because that would be the most effective, because we want people to also ask questions. And this is going to be done by Zoom. So everybody can have their say, everybody gets to speak, everybody gets to learn, ask questions. It's the same way we're doing now. And we will also have, we're putting together a pamphlet for you, like a little something for you so you'll know exactly what's going on. But if I were you, I would go ahead and go in now and register and get your spot. If you know people that you want to do this with because you would rather talk with someone then go in with that person and get 2 or 3 seats at a time so that you will be with people you're familiar with.
Well, I wanna thank you, ladies, for sharing with my audience, and I wish you nothing. Anything I can be of assistance in, just call me. Endeavor, you got a direct access, and I really appreciate you because I think a lot of times with the matriarchal stuff, because this is where you have a lot of brothers out here who are fucked up, and they really like to blame the woman. And I always ask them, well, nigga, why would you blame the woman who sacrificed her life for you? And we don't never get it. We don't know. Kobe's shoes was too tight. I didn't. You. We always come with some dumb shit.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm against. It's embarrassing to see brothers walking around here dumb. And dumb because, like the sister said earlier, that's how we want. We integrate into this stuff. We want to be this, and it don't have to be that way. So I want to say thank you for you sisters coming sharing.
Thank
And
you for having us on.
Yes.
Thank you. So to close out here at African Americans Ain't African, you got to be here tonight because we're gonna have a sister who worked this COVID shit for the past 3 months, and she's gonna break it down. One of the sisters that you listen to are sisters that are nurses, because they're into that cleanliness shit, and that common sense stuff. And this sister is into it. So we're gonna come on tonight at 6 o'clock Eastern. 6 o'clock Eastern. Be there. We're gonna kill. I want to thank all you guys for joining us. I hope you learned something from these sisters. I know I did, so I know you did too. So listen. Can you? Here's the last question I want to give you, Deborah. If you're there,
I'm here.
somebody's asking for a link to your site.
I will send that link to you.
Okay, can I have it now? Because I don't,
Okay, it's called the Hindsight Project. Can I type it in? I don't know if I can. How do I do that?
I don't know, but I already got Hind up.
Okay, it's the hindsightproject.com.
Hindsight Project. See, that's all you have to do, baby. Hindsightproject.com.
So it's the hindsightproject.com.
Okay, the HINDSIGHT
GHT. Yeah. P
PROJECT.
PROJECT.
Ooh, so I was good in spelling.
Look, let me tell you,
I won a
Danielle
spelling bee
always correct.
contest.
Whenever we be writing, Danielle is constantly correcting my spelling.
Hey,
Good
you
God, don't worry.
you lucky you got youth like that. Shit, you rolling.
Tell me about it.
I want
Tell
to
me
be on
about
your
it.
team.
Also, where you gonna the other link is to the where you'll be logging in. That's going to be on both the Hindsight Projects as an event. It's also going to be on Facebook as an event, and also it's going to be on the company, which is Social Construct and RealityTherapy.com. Also that one too. So it's going to be on those. It's going to be on those and only on those.
Before we get out of here,
Mm-hmm.
I want to go ahead and just address this last post that came up. I look more like my relatives in Papua New Guinea. All tribes don't look like that. We're not in Papua New Guinea, boo. I know you don't know. I know I'm supposed to. We are the world. I'm not that nigga. You go to Papua New Guinea because I know they got some shit going on over there that the New Guineans need to get on cold. This
Right.
ain't the
Let
book.
me just address that, please, if I may. I don't care where you are on this planet. I don't care where you are on this planet. The original people look like us. Period. You go back and do some research, you will see that the original people, including those in Australia, including those in China, Japan, Africa, I don't care where you
Papua
go.
New Guinea.
New Guinea, they original people look like us. If you don't see anyone there that looks like us, your ancestors probably killed them.
Hey, didn't the sister tell us earlier that the heavens fell to the earth and planted the stars in the ground, and this is what came up, and you niggas don't get that?
That's really the truth.
Damn!
Yeah.
I mean, damn! The sister just gave it to you. Praise Jesus. I
Stop.
didn't want the Lord. I didn't know the Lord. I had Jesus. Amen.
Stop.
So listen, I want to thank you ladies for joining us.
You're
You sisters
welcome.
are wonderful.
Thank you.
Excuse me, we gotta have part 2, so y'all go ahead and skedaddle and get that ready.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. You guys gave life to a dying population, and I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Listen, check it out. Be with us in another 5 hours. We're gonna have the sister, the Accomac, the sister from the Accomacs. And if you don't know about the Accomacs were some of the first people that these invaders encountered when they got here. They got they bad. This sister's a nurse, and she gonna give it to you funky. We're gonna be back in a few hours. I think it's gonna be 6 o'clock Eastern time. Yes, 6 o'clock Eastern time. It's gonna go down. Thank you, sisters, for joining us, and thank you, listeners, for listening to us. I hope you got something out of it. And remember, everybody got a little light under the sun.